was my home. It's just where
Hey friends, what a period of time we're all going through. Many of us just watching, many listening. I'm doing a lot of watching, a lot of listening. And lately I've been speaking up a little bit. But in the course of listening, one woman spoke up the other day, and she did it in a way that is usually pretty jarring for companies and company leaders. And that is, instead of just coming to her manager or writing to HR, she posted on Instagram her complete dissatisfaction with how Boloco has been handling the Black Lives Matter issues, the riots. There's a tendency to want to react to that and get defensive and say, don't you understand? A, we're not racist. I'm not racist. B, we did all these things. Didn't you read my blog? The fact of the matter is that people today are letting their voices be heard. They're letting it be heard on their terms. And I embrace that. And this one woman's name is Ashley. And within about 24 hours of her second post, she was in front of all of us at Boloco. And we got to hear so much. And we got to learn so much. And people emoted. And it was challenging and eye-opening. And it also was just a start. It was just a conversation. But it was an important conversation. Afterwards, we were in the restaurant that was, trashed and looted a couple weeks ago. And we took the plywood that had been covering the broken, smashed windows. The windows had been replaced the day before. And we took the plywood and we decided to just share our messages on those plywood as a team. And without a plan in place, after the meeting and after the sharing was over, we went outside onto our beautiful patio on the Boston Common, and there just happened to be 5 pieces of plywood that had covered the 2 big shattered windows. And those 5 pieces of plywood were then covered with artwork and paint, however it came out to the person doing the work, and each of those were distributed to our 5 open restaurants. And it was pretty awesome. It felt pretty good, maybe dangerously good, because maybe we didn't really do anything. Again, the key thing is we did something together, we shared our voices, we made sure that the person whose voice was the most vocal, Ashley, that she understood. Whoa, that was close. We made sure that Ashley's voice wasn't lost and that it wasn't just respond. We didn't just respond and then check a box and move on. Today we brought the whole company together on our now weekly calls, and Max and Ashley, Max is the general manager at Lynnfield, and we had them lead the meeting, and they were fantastic. And, more challenging discussions, more calls for action that we don't necessarily know what it looks like. Our business has benefited from the structural racism that does exist. We live in the Northeast. All you got to do is listen to the podcast Seeing White, episode 6, to understand that Boston is no piece of cake when it comes to racism. There's so much work that needs to be done. Ashley called on Boloco to educate our customers. I would never be crazy enough to come up with that idea myself. I would know better than to say, and I say that sarcastically, I would know better than to think that a business like Boloco could educate the public. And is that really our purpose? Is that really our place? But the answer is that Boloco has a voice too. And our voice is an extension of Ashley's. And our voice is an extension of Max's. And our voice is an extension of the 120 people, mostly non-white people, who work at Boloco. And that voice needs to be heard. So this is just a small part of Boloco's voice, reaching out to try to be part of the solution. It's amazing how the silver lining in all these things, the brick that went flying through our window that we wrote about, the COVID crisis, all these things bringing people together in ways that we just couldn't have imagined a few short months ago. I don't want to say I'm grateful for COVID, grateful for some of the unrest that's taken place in the cities, because there have been casualties, and that's horrible. But since those things were happening, I think it's our responsibility to take action to make the best of those situations and make sure that we're learning. So that's what we're trying to do. I am well aware that people say, oh, they're just trying to be woke because they're trying to help their business. Yeah, we need to have a business, and we don't know how long we'll have one, but we need to have a business if we're going to try to use it to do good work. So yeah, we got to take care of the business, but this is a great example of a time in history when business can actually be used as a force for good and people actually pay attention. So that's all I got. Thank you for listening today. I look forward to hearing from you.